Now, I asked her.
Hey, wait. No, we live now. Wow. It's Timeless Tuesdays. We just want to say welcome to Popcorn Conversation. We are here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm about to give y'all Central Eastern Standard Time. Oh, no, we are Eastern Standard Time. And we want to welcome each and every one of you all to the show. Thank you all for listening. We have been hearing from some of you all listeners out there saying, I'm listening in. I may not be typing in, but I'm listening in. We just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. And we cannot do this show without some of our co-hosts, as my husband just journeys in.
I look up and there's a big old grin on the screen.
No, he just be popping in when he want to. Okay, we're gonna have to do something about him. But we are super excited to have you all listen to us tonight. We have a great topic, but before we get into that topic, we want to welcome our co-host to the show, all the way from the Tennessee area. Ow. It's Captain Alvin and Victoria Parker.
You're doing the most today, Carlos. She acting like you.
Say what's up to the people.
Hello, everyone.
I'm lit right now. On good stuff.
Yeah.
That's how we got
the word.
Pastor Alvin and Victoria.
You just gonna pop in here and take over my show.
I am. I just want to say that, of course, I follow them on social media, and they're with True Word Christian Center.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that want to follow them, please look them up on True Word Christian Center on their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that, because they've got some great messages out there. And for lack of a better word, they do a great job of promoting the church from a word perspective. And I think that you would be very pleased to see some of the things that are out there that are truthful in their messaging. And I love that you are promoting that word appropriately.
Of course. And they know, our viewers know, they're going to be dropping the seeds in the word. We were just at a meeting last night, and then we were just talking about, they're like, you guys, we can't wait to Popcorn Conversation. And I said, yeah. And I said, yeah, we're going to be dropping. They said, yeah, they're going to be dropping in watermelon seeds.
Oh, Lord.
Girl, JJ. She
coined that term.
That she has coined it, and that we are hearing it in the community. So get ready for some seeds being dropped tonight, especially on this topic. But before we get into that topic, guess what we want to do? We want to welcome to the stage all the way from Alabama. It's Adam and Adrian Mixon.
DJ Champion on the ones and twos.
Yeah, welcome. Say hello to the people.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up, everybody? Now, we're in Alabama, but we are not from here. We still ain't coming. we love y'all. We love y'all, but we're not from here. We are from Ohio.
They had to clarify that they are not from Alabama.
No, not from Alabama, as they say that.
Someone specifically asked for you all this week.
Wow.
The Mixon's going to be on this week.
Oh, wow.
They will be on this week.
Yes.
So they love you all's energy and the things that you all bring as well. So it's interesting that people are like loving the dynamics of what's happening here from the Parkers and the Mixons. And I think the Greens, we just show up.
We just show up. Add a little flavor here and there.
Y'all the reason the podcast is on.
Y'all got to step it up. Y'all the ones supposed to be doing all this. We just supplement.
This is
no, because everybody are looking at you all.
This is a conversation that need to be had, and that is one reason why we created this platform. Is because there are a lot of issues and challenges, even successes that are happening in relationships, and oftentimes they don't have a platform to really talk about them. And we felt like creating this platform would be able to give people some insight, not just practical insight, but spiritual insight on how to really delve into these challenges and situations that they may have. And even though they may not hear it, like it may not be live, they can always go back.
Yes,
and that's what I love about it, because we can drop those seeds and they can go back. So this platform has not only been great for us, but we hear it in the community and as a way to connect with you all just once again, because community is everything. It is everything. So what do you have, babe? You have anything else you want to say before we tell the viewers what we're going to be talking about?
I've given my kudos to the Parkers and the Mixons, and I love that.
All right. Well, tonight is the night for a great topic. The topic tonight is drum roll. Keeping it 100 in your marriage without hurting each other. What? Keeping it 100 in your marriage without hurting each other. You know, we're talking about being honesty that builds trust. We're talking about the way you deliver that truth can either strengthen your relationship or damage it.
Yeah,
we know that is critical, how you deliver that. So tonight, y'all already know we always keep it 100, but we want to give you some practical tools, some spiritual tools on how you could keep it 100 without damaging the relationship, right? So I'm looking forward to jumping in to that. All right. So where we go? Let's go.
Go ahead and kick it off, girl.
Yeah. You know what? I want to let our viewers know this is a safe space and a necessary conversation about keeping it real, because when there are things that are hidden in the relationship, that means that the trust can be damaged when you are hiding things in your relationship and you're not being able to talk about those things. So I want to think about some things that maybe where we're keeping it 100. Let's talk about how we are keeping it 100. And I'll jump it out first. I believe Carlos and I have this thing that we do on a monthly basis where we meet with each other and we talk about 6 core areas in our lives. And oftentimes you all have heard us talk about it often. Those 6 core areas, for those who don't know, is faith, family, finance, fitness, future, and fun. And one of the areas that I'll just point out is fitness. We just try to keep it real with fitness, and we challenge each other in fitness. But let me just tell you, we do keep it real. We don't, Carlos may say, I look nice in that dress. And I say, okay, really? Come on now. Now, I done put on a little bit 10 pounds. It ain't loose like it used to be. Let's do it. The way you say it means a lot. But it's something like that. I just want to dig into our fitness. I think that can be a part where we could just try to gloss over so we can make our spouse feel okay, because we don't want to hurt their feelings. But what's a good way to be able to, when we're talking about weight, that can help? Carlos is like, Don't
look scared, man.
Especially when we know we put on a little pounds, we're not feeling well about ourselves. And then you say, no, baby, you look good, but Are you just really saying that? Or let's talk a little bit about that as you process that. I want to keep it real with the people. We talked about that, right? And I think that's one of the things that I would like to put out there on the table, because I myself struggle with that in seasons. When it's wintertime, I hibernate. And I hibernate them chips in the closet too.
Oh,
I love crunchy stuff. And then by the time springtime come around, the chips have shown up in places that I just didn't know they were there. So
I do think it's helpful when you talk about something like your body and things like that, to start the conversation not with the appearances, but I think the conversation needs to start with your health.
Oh, come on now.
Rather than talking about how it looks, let's talk about how you feel, how it makes you feel, and those things. Because in our culture, we are kind of preoccupied with appearances and with aesthetics and those types of things, and we can get to majoring on that, when the reality of it is, even if the goal is to be fit, that's an inside out job too. You can work out all day, but if you are not eating right or resting well, you can still just be as unhealthy as the day is long. So if the conversation starts with the inside, then the outside has a way of catching up.
Oh, I love that take. That's psychology right there. Psychology 101, and focusing on the health. I love the way you position.
You want your partner to be healthy. You want them to be their best selves.
Yes,
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. All of those things. So let's talk about being healthy in all of ways, right?
I appreciate that, and and the reason why I put it out there in that manner is because that's the way we hear that. That's the way oftentimes we express that. We express that from a physical standpoint, and we've had conversations over and over with different couples, and that is the way they express themselves are physically looking. But I love the way that internally, like, how are you feeling on the inside? What are some of the causes that maybe have gotten you to that point? And so I love the way that you had internalized that. And so hopefully that can help some of our viewers out there as we are referencing, how to keep it 100 without hurting each other in the process with our words.
I know we're talking about appearances and weight and things, but it really took me back to when we first got married. We had some challenges with keeping it 100 with one another because we were learning each other.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And we were trying to understand what our rhythms would look like, and we didn't have the tools solidified at that point to be equipped to handle these type of intimate conversations that we were having at this point. And so it did cause some tension with us, because I believe that in my conversations, I kept my conversations the way that I was always doing with my family and my friends, instead of with my spouse, which are completely different conversations that you have. And there's a sensitivity to those conversations that you have to be aware of or be cognizant of. And we have to make sure that we're giving ourselves not just grace, but equipping ourselves with those types of conversations. So that's why it's challenging me now on just to be real, because I don't think I was real in those conversations early on in our relationship at that point. To keep it 100.
That's about right. We kind of enter into the relationship mimicking how we were shaped, what we heard, or the opposite. We are bracing and protecting so that when the truth does come out, because I know it's probably gonna hurt, I'm gonna either get harder, I'm gonna weaponize something, or I'm gonna withdraw. Because when I grew up or how you were exposed, that's how I expect this relationship is gonna happen. So I'm gonna act like I've always acted, and the other person's gonna do the same.
Yes. That entire word though, been knowing how to make that distinction.
Yeah.
Because again, admittedly, we grew up differently, right? We grew up really differently, and my upbringing was a little rougher around the edges than hers. So this whole notion of like telling the truth, it was like, it's the truth, you know. Idea of putting a filter on it or trying to, you know, think about how I'm presenting it, or man, I had a saying, and I'm embarrassed to say this out loud right now. I was like, look, if it comes up and comes out, I meant it.
Wow.
Even if I apologize for it, I can't take it back, because I mean, I might be sorry that I hurt your feelings and like righteously mean that. But the idea of me like saying, oh, you know how some people blurt something out, oh, I didn't mean that. Nah.
Yes, you did.
Nah, I absolutely meant it. And we have to deal with that.
And maybe not understanding the damage that is starting to build up with your spouse.
Look, if she's the passive to my aggressive, it would have shredded us if we hadn't learned.
Yeah, I was 100% passive aggressive, which is not good. He's vocal, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna act like something's wrong, but I don't either know how to say it, or I'm afraid to say it. So that's not a good balance.
Right.
Toxic. That's on. Yes.
And for me, I kept my feelings close to the vest. And I would, at that point, avoid conflict. So that was not healthy for me. And I probably cheated Catherine out of a lot of great conversations that we should have been having early on in our relationship, just because I'm like, I have an image to uphold, an image to protect. I'm being selfish, right? So I want to make sure that I'm communicating appropriately, and I'm communicating just enough, not my full feelings, not how I fully feel, but just enough, because I don't want to get into a conflict, and I still want to just like, I'm trying to just make everything peaceful instead of communicating my true feelings. And I had to get equipped with that. Parker's have been quiet over there.
Let's hear it.
Well, I think for us, we started our marriage off in the Word. So, and we talked all the time. That's one of the things that we were taught during our marriage counseling session, is that you talk, communicate. And so that's kind of been our mantra per se. So nothing was off limits to have a discussion about. Now, what we may have needed to do is, we were having a conversation, and because we were trying to watch our words with each other, we may have to say, hey, we got to table this, because I may say something that's not going to come out the way I mean it. And so we gave each other the grace to say, time out. We're going to squash this, and we'll come back and we'll talk about this when we've had time to really think about it, so that something doesn't come out that I can't take back. And so I think that was somewhat of like we just kind of started off with that communicating and that talking. And before we even made the decision that we wanted to get married, we were already talking a lot. So I found out about his history and how he grew up and how painful and hurtful and all those kinds of things that happened. And I did the same thing. So we did a lot of talking about those things, just open, honest communication. Now, there was a point where, I would say things because I, had been by myself for a while, and, it's just like, hey, it is what it is, And so we got to the point where he was like, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And then God deal with him and said, it's not what she's saying, it's how you're hearing it.
Yes.
And so we take responsibility for the communication. He said, she already told you she didn't mean it that way. So it's how you're listening, it's how you're hearing it. And so once we both got those pieces, it was like, oh, okay, it's cool. So it's like, you can't be walking around here all tore up. Because I already told you I didn't mean it, and the Lord told you, dude, she already told you she don't mean it that way. It's how you hearing it,
I think we went through that.
Starting the relationship off with the word to begin with, having a good pastor just teaching us and taking us through those steps, and us actually applying that helped us to not get in our feelings about how we were communicating with each other.
Got you. That's good. Yes, Alvin.
Just want to read this scripture. I think it will help a lot of us be 100 or keeping it real, or however you want to phrase it. Romans 12:2 from the Amplified Classic reads, do not be conformed to this world, this age, fashioned after and adapted to its external, superficial customs, but be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind. And this part, it really gets me, by its new ideals and its new attitude. So transformation comes when we begin to think differently about what we're doing. It's like Pastor Mixon said, when you change on the inside, then it changes the outside. Change how you think about food. Change. Here's a thought concept here. Truth is freedom. Truth don't have to hurt.
That's right.
That's a transformative thought. Truth don't have to hurt. We've always been told truth hurts, but it don't have to. If you change your thinking about truth to what Jesus said in John 8:31, if you continue in my word, then you'll know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Right.
So if I start to view truth as freedom, then guess what? And it changes how I look at truth. So now I'm saying I'm being set free. So like when my wife and I was talking about this, because I will often say it at church, my wife is brutally honest. And she said, Alvin, you're going to have to change that. I said, you're exactly right. Because you're making a shift in your thinking, because God, I see your word, or I see people telling me the truth as freedom. If you tell me the truth about my weight because it's killing my health, then it's visible. If I look at that as freedom, then here's someone that's willing to tell me the truth and be supportive in helping me change that. If we get new ideas, customs from the word, it'll help us transform how we do things.
Transform that mind.
What does that proverb say? Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Even if there is, it makes us uncomfortable, or it challenges us, or it stretches us. It's the intention is not to do harm. My anchor verse is that Ephesians 4:29, where it talks about corrupt communication.
Let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth.
And I saw something with that years ago when we were in a workshop about our words. Was that when we claim to be possessed by, or to possess the truth, that truth comes from God. Right? Now, if I take that truth then and mingle it with my motives,
ain't the truth.
Or I take that truth, or weaponize it, if I separate it from love and weaponize it, then guess what? It stops being the truth. So it's no longer, well, it's just the truth. No, that's the truth plus your attitude, plus your wicked intentions, plus your ego. Not the truth anymore. So to reform and start thinking like, if the truth be told, the truth must be told. with love. So even if it's a painful truth that I have to convey, I can't really express that truth to you without feeling some of that pain with you.
Yeah.
It's like you hear people talking about judgment and all of that, and how, you know, how destructive it is to judge. But I think God equips us to rightly judge. He gives us a spirit so that we can tell a tree by fruit and all of that kind of stuff. But the challenge is making sure that our judgment is aimed at restoration and not condemnation.
Wow.
Aimed at restoration.
At restoration and not condemnation.
Because God always wants to bring us back. If we get off track and there's a word given, even if it's tough, it's to restore. It's to always bring us back. Now, if I just want to bludgeon you or beat you down or find fault, then again, I'm no longer dealing with the truth.
No, you're not.
So have you ever, you have heard this statement, growing up is not in the Bible.
I know what you're going to say. That sticks and stones.
That sticks and stones. But words will never hurt me.
I got a scripture that tears that up.
Well, I know you did. I don't want you to get there, but it's where people are using these words from a destructive standpoint, because words can hurt.
They do hurt.
They do hurt. Okay,
they bring death.
Words are powerful.
Yes.
They bring death. Proverbs 26:22 and Proverbs 18:8 says, the words of a talebearer are like wounds that go down into the innermost parts of the belly.
Yes.
And then Jesus said this in Matthew 12:37 in the Amplified, that on the day of judgment, men will have to give an account of every idle, inoperative, non-working word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. And his judgment is twofold, and I think people get them confused. There's a side of judgment where there's perception and discernment to make decisions. And then there's a side of judgment where you're passing a sentence. And when people are being perceptive in judgment, they misunderstand it as someone passing a sentence on them. No, I'm being perceptive that I don't see fruit. I'm not passing a sentence that can change.
Yes.
People, there's two sides to that judgment. You don't give a 10-year-old a car because they don't have good judgment.
That's right.
Yeah.
They can't
sometimes you don't give a 21-year-old a car.
50-year-olds too.
Exactly. Well, listen, I want to remind our audience what we're talking about. We're talking about keeping it 100. Some people say keeping it real in your marriage without hurting each other. We've heard that maturity has helped with the language sometimes as we're speaking and looking on the inside. Really dealing with the inside, asking those questions that will help your spouse to even be delivered from some of the things that they may be struggling with. And then also I wanted to share here on the screen from Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, we miss you all. She said, I've always been told that I was too honest, as if it was a horrible fault. People never took my intent into consideration. And we want people to be honest. And one of the things we're talking about is just how you say it. You can say things, but you can have ill intent behind that. To hurt you about and to say, this is how I grew up. We were always honest with each other. And so we always spoke our truth. Let's talk about that when people talk about standing.
Lord, not that. The truth.
Standing in your truth.
This is my
That's
truth.
opinion.
What? That's an inappropriate pronoun, right?
Yeah, that's opinion.
That is an opinion.
That's gonna get us in all kind of trouble.
I'm just saying. I just want to bring it out because we are really trying to help.
say it.
Look, y'all, I worked at insurance for a long time, property and casualty insurance. And one of the things that you could always find out, if there was an accident, there are always different perspectives.
Yes.
There were always different perspectives. But the truth you could find where the stories overlapped. There was this intersection where you could actually find out where the truth was.
Somewhere in the middle.
And then I want the truth. Can I have the truth? So you gotta parse and you gotta be discerning, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
right? That's popular now, because again, that's just how I see it.
Yeah, exactly. Your opinion.
You need corrective lenses. You need to.
Wow, that is so true.
Well,
Adam, that is so true.
Yes.
It's like we don't have astigmatism, or you're not my.
I'm my stigmatism. I can't stigmatism.
Come on, man. You know you're nearsighted. Come on.
Yeah. What were you
gonna say?
No,
I was just gonna say that oftentimes when we get into these situations where we're having conversations, I've seen it play over and over again. Usually something has happened or shifted in the environment to make us say things that are not appropriate, or we don't know how to say those things. There's a level of either stress or anxiety or frustration, or something has actually happened to allow us to want to say things, and we don't know how we should be saying those things or equipped to say the right things without the hurt that comes with it. Like Alvin said, you can be truthful but not hurtful, but then recognizing your own inner landscape to understand the stress or the anxiety that you're going through, so that you can season your words with salt, that it can be truthful. Right. I'm sorry, say that again.
You got to have some salt first. If
you got to have, but that's why I say you've got to recognize what that looks like and go to the word to understand, how can I be truthful without being hurtful? And to say, despite the situation or the context in which we find ourselves. Sometimes, like what Victoria said, it's best to say, let's table this conversation right now, because we're in a situation that's probably not beneficial for us right now to have these conversations.
Yeah. And let me tell you what that is, Carlos.
Please.
She was filling up so much on the word. Matthew 12, 34 through 37 says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And you said in judging the inner self, whenever we experience pressure, whatever we full of is going to come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so at that moment, she's so full of the word, because where we were going to church, what we were learning, that when that pressure came in that situation, that motive and that love come up and say, we're not going to respond this way. Let's take it this way. And so when you're talking about judging that inner selves, people, a lot of times when they say those things, they're saying it because they're full of fear. They're saying it because they're full of pressure. So and whatever gets their attention is what they're going to be full of. So when pressure comes, it's coming up either out of fear, out of anxiety. You're not full of the word, because if you were full of the word, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speak. And then the word gets in us from hearing it. So if you're not hearing it anywhere, then it's not getting in you. So you're empty. And so when pressure comes, that's all that's going to come out.
That makes me want to go back to something Victoria said earlier about how we hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Sometimes because we're in pain or under pressure, or we've been in pain or come from pain, we listen for triggers.
Yeah, that's how you're hearing it.
We're listening for triggers. We got some unresolved pain, some unaddressed hurt that has just sat there. Wow. And then somebody pokes it, and that's what we hear. Different time, different place, different people. That's unresolved. So it makes me want to go back to something we said in weeks prior about learning how to interrogate those feelings.
Yeah.
If I hear and I feel pain before I go to getting mad at the one who said it or questioning their motives, what if I interrogate my own emotions first? What if I say, now, why is that bothering me?
Yes.
Connected to, why am I annoyed by that? Why does that disturb me? Because a lot of time what we do is excavate something that is years old and has nothing to do. But we gonna make them pay for it. We were listening for that trigger. Yeah. Adrian, we've had this experience. I'm only because we've had this, right?
You're like Adrian. Adrian,
come on in here, help me.
Help me out here.
No, I was just thinking about just human beings in general. The number one rule: self-preservation. That's always first.
That's very human.
That's anybody, anywhere, old, young, in the middle. Number one rule. So when we come close to each other, if I'm not healed or I'm experiencing your words through the lens of something that's extreme, anything extreme
under pressure,
it distorts the lens. So when I hear it, I'm searching for intent. I'm not grasping the content. I'm trying to see if you're going to hurt me first. That's the part I'm listening for. What you said, it's not transmitting because I'm so used to having to protect myself. I'm having to make sure I survive this conversation. So anything that's too extreme, these emotions, it's coming from old wounds, old experiences, trauma. It distorts the lens. So y'all talked about fear and the pressure. Self-preservation always wins. And we have to fight that, like y'all were talking about. We have to fight that with the word because God keeps us safe. But past experience says, nah, shields up, have a weapon. You've seen this. Protect yourself. And the person who is closer
is the one gonna get it.
If you can imagine in those old movies where they would have people fighting with swords, you can see people coming from across the field with a long sword. What you cannot see is somebody close with a dagger.
You
can You can protect yourself. You see it coming, like, oh, I see it coming. I know what to do. The dagger can be hidden. You can get up close. That's what we worry about.
That's why it hurts worse.
That's why it hurts worse.
When you're in close, which again, I gotta double down on that. I think Alvin, you said it, Adrian, you echoed it. Carlos, you said something about it. That when we are under pressure, adversity has a way of revealing what is in us. You know, the stuff that is in it. And if it is unhealed, if it is unaddressed, if it's been repressed and suppressed rather than yielded and surrendered, right? That stuff is going to come out. And unfortunately, it's going to come out on the one who is closer to us.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how do we express, just so for our viewers, so that we can give them even more content and depth and foundation. So how can I express hard feelings with love? I mean, what are some ways I can express like those hard things, but do it within love, do it with love?
Circumspection. You got to ask yourself, like, why? And be dreadfully honest about it, or not dreadfully. No, that's a wrong word. That's brutally honest, right?
I'll be brutally honest, and I knew it brutally. Be honest.
Be honest with yourself. Like, what is my intention in this exchange? And if it does not honor God, if I'm not operating through the ethics of love for God and love for others as I love myself, if that ain't it, then I need to shut my mouth. I need to hush. If it is not to honor God and to honor the other who is made in the image and likeness of God, then if I can't come to that as my why, then I need to be silent.
You need to do the search me, oh God. Okay.
No.
Go ahead, Alvin.
No, I was wondering if he was finished. I'm done. I think the biggest thing for the believer, and even people who don't know Christ, when you come into him, is knowing that you have the capacity to love. That's your identity. Because Romans 5:5, when we're talking about from a scripture standpoint, like Pastor Mixon said, from a motive of love, I just started this teaching in church that you got to identify that you have the full capacity to love like God, because Romans 5:5 says the love of God has been shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost who's given unto us. So from a biblical standpoint, you cannot truthfully say, I don't have it in me. It's there. And it's yielding to it that's on the inside. But some people don't even see themselves as having the capacity to love. One, and then two, looking in the scriptures, Jesus said in John 13:34, love each other as I have loved you. You got to stay mindful of, how did he love me? Romans 5:5-10 says he loved us when we were weak, when we were ungodly, when we were without strength, and when we were an enemy. So love works no ill to his neighbor. So when you keep that in your perspective of, now how can I hold something against you and God let my stuff go? How can I stay mad with you when God loved me? Is turning your mind towards that when the thoughts and the feelings come. And that's something you have to rehearse and speak to yourself every day before the situations come.
Before,
because Jesus said it's impossible that offense is going to come, Luke 17:1.
Yes.
So
they gonna come. Go ahead. Go, Victoria.
And I think practically the people in the marriage relationship need to set up those boundaries. Those like we set up the idea of timeout. We need to table this because we don't want this to go any further. So as a couple, you need to sit down and say, hey, there are going to be times that we're going to have difficult conversations. So let's set some guidelines up to have this conversation when we go in. And
that was hard on my flesh that you was going to bring it back up because I wanted to fix it then.
Exactly.
But I had to exercise my faith
and patience
that we would come back and revisit it because I wanted it fixed and settled.
Right.
And the other part too is truly listening when you have those conversations. Because if I don't get my words out and you already coming with a rebuttal, you're not listening to me. You're listening to me.
Adrian
come up with a rebuttal. I need you to listen to me. Not think about how you're gonna respond. Not think about how you're gonna get back.
Put
your lick in. You gotta stop and listen.
In the chamber.
Have the productive conversation and get to what you need to discuss.
That's fantastic. We oftentimes, and I'm going to pull up one in just a moment. Jocelyn has shared something. One of the things that we had looked at early on is how we were trained on our jobs and how we needed to talk. We were in leadership roles, and they oftentimes will send you through these trainings on how you talk with customers, but also how you talk with your colleagues and how do you resolve conflict. And so we think about those tools and trainings that we had gotten and said, we're not going to just go off on our boss at work. Now you can contain yourself while you at work, but when you come home, you just lose it all. So we thought about, okay, those skills that we learned, they were not just for them. They were for us to put those in practice in our own home. And so we knew we didn't want to say something that we would be just the words will come out and we know that we were like that we can't take that back. You wouldn't do that on your job because you would lose your job. And what this person is the closest to me and I don't want to lose him. So we made it a point to really talk talk that language that we that training we had on our job. And it was very, very helpful. As you said, Victoria, like pausing, let's take a time out, or let me restate. So what I hear you saying is, and sometimes we're not really, then they have to say, no, that's not what I said. Okay, so exactly. And in addition to that, remove the emotion. I need a moment to get these emotions in check, because if I do not get them in check, they about to come out, and you're gonna see Kate, Cat, Kool-Aid, whoever. Okay, so let's
add a thought to that, Catherine. When you say with the emotions, it's one thing I've learned over the years that God did with me. Our emotions and our feelings, they are very real. But just because we have them don't mean we have to respond according to them. That we actually have authority over our flesh. And just because we feel some type of way, we don't have to talk some type of way.
Right. That's right. That's right. I agree.
But that's been a renewing of the mind, understanding spirit, soul, and body.
Yes.
And that I'm not my body. I'm not my emotions. I'm a spirit first with the nature of God on the inside of me. And I'm going to have feelings and emotions.
Yes.
Especially when you have thoughts, they tune them up. But I don't have to yield to that, because my spirit man's in control. When my mind's renewed to the word. But if my mind is unrenewed, I'm identifying more with my flesh and my feelings than I am with who I am, the creature on the inside. And until people understand that, then they'll always identify with their body and their feelings, and let their feelings tell them what something is. And their perception is their perception, whether we like it or not. It's their perception. It's like Pastor Mixon said, it's the lens that they see it through. And, and some people got lenses like Fred G. Sanford. He had that drawer with all them glasses in there. People, their perceptions are like that. Whatever they need to look at the time, that's the glasses they pull it out.
They need to put on, right.
When he was playing cards, where he can see through the
Exactly. Let me just put up this, and then we'll respond. Jocelyn had put this up earlier, and I wanted to share that as well. Once her husband learned and understood her intent, he accepted and sometimes appreciates her honesty, even if it's a hard truth. And she feels the same way about him. He gives it to me all the way straight, she said. You want it. Yes.
But they've had to learn that process.
Over and over.
They've had to go through that space of having a safe space and a brave space to do that. It's just hard. It's hard I would venture to say that it is hard for most couples to just bust out and do that without understanding who they are and being full of the word. You're just not gonna get that.
No, that's why we're talking about Adam. Come on out, but I wanted to.
That's why I want to say this for those who are in between the already and the not yet. There are some guardrails.
Yes,
come on.
Adrian and I were saved and called and all of that stuff when we got married, but we were young, right? Just young. We were young.
Yes.
So to those who are listening, who are in those nascent phases of their relationship, we've been together for 3 decades plus now. There are some rules that just can't be violated.
Come on.
Don't tell them.
I don't care where you come from or how you were raised.
Yes.
Cursing each other out, calling each other names. That is never constructive. That is not effective. That is not an effective means of communicating. I don't care if you're angry or upset. Get that under control, because not only are you harming the other, you are setting an example for the children in that house or for your neighbor. That is not okay. So establish that early. We might disagree, but we are not going to disrespect each other.
Going there.
Come on
Oh,
now.
I like that. We may disagree, but we're not going to disrespect one another.
You hear that out there, listeners? Enough of that disrespect and less.
Say it again, Pastor. Say it again. People in the back, say it one more time.
We disagree, but we ain't going to disrespect each other. And we have had some intense fellowship. Right, has some intense exchanges, but no, that is that is a guardrail, and the other guardrail is this: I don't care how upset you are with your spouse, your other. Don't you dare whisper about them to anybody else.
You might need to say a little more on that one.
About your marriage.
That is
exactly right here.
Do not do that. Do not do that. Don't do it with your in-laws, your outlaws, your cousin them. Don't do that, because y'all got a covenant relationship. And after y'all have forgiven each other and gotten over it, guess who's still mad? Everybody that you
everybody else.
You go to the cookout, they rolling their eyes at you. They got a special plate for you. You know, no, do not do that. That is destructive. That is
thank you for sharing that.
Again, for those who are between already and not yet, you growing in grace and knowledge, set up some guardrails. Slip into disrespecting each other, because pressure can cause that to happen.
That was one of our non-negotiables as well. We have the capacity to love, to grow in grace. It must be developed. And that was one of the guardrails that we actually set up for ourselves as well, is that our non-negotiable was that we would not talk about each other with our family members. We're having a disagreement, because we knew that our family members would actually frame that and put that on their nightstand and keep it there. Anytime anything happened, and we over it, we good. But then walk in and people rolling their eyes at you. You like, why are you rolling your eyes at me? That's been, and they be holding stuff for 3 years ago.
They sure will.
What?
They sure will.
What is that? And so just protecting my spouse and also protecting my family from that as well.
We want to encourage our listeners, to speak life into your relationship, to pause and take control and authority over your emotions before you put that into the atmosphere. We all know that words are powerful. Life and death lies in the tongue, and what you put in the atmosphere, if you can't take that back at times, and that will replay over and over again. And it takes it's you have to have 7 positives to combat one negative. And so imagine you put that negative out there, and then you got to come back with 7 more positives to really make sure that you overcome that negative things you said.
It's crazy when we get performance reviews. I've seen it happen over, and I'm guilty of it too. They're like, you did all this great stuff, and then they give you one negative, and you concentrate and focus on that one.
Fixate on that.
It's a way of thinking.
Exactly.
Can I add one more boundary?
Yeah.
Do not accept any negative conversation about your spouse. Do not let anybody get in your ear or complaints about your spouse. I had an incident one time, somebody felt negative, and my nephew was watching me at the time, and they were just talking, and they made reference to my wife being an old ball and chain. That's what they said. And I didn't even cover. I said, don't you ever refer to my wife that way, in that tone. I love my wife. I got a wonderful wife. You might have had a bad situation.
Yeah,
but I don't have no ball and chain.
Come on now.
Come on.
You got to cut stuff off at the quickness when it don't come for mine.
Exactly. Keep my life out of your mouth.
I love you, but I will let you know real quick. We're not going there. I will pick my stuff up and leave. I'll leave you standing there.
Yeah.
I'll tell, get your stuff. I don't care who it is. Get your stuff and let's go.
Yeah.
We need more of that.
I'm not tolerating.
I love that, Alvin. I won't even rock with dudes who feel.
No, I'm not gonna listen because I'm not gonna listen when you run down your spouse. Because I don't need that in my thinking. I don't want that in my heart. And I think too many times people listen to folk complain about their spouse, and then you come home, your spouse ain't even done nothing. But because you've been listening to this complaint all day, you ready to respond off of what somebody else said. You don't took somebody else's offense.
It ain't even yours. It ain't even yours.
Ain't even yours. You took somebody else's offense.
That's right.
That's good. That's good.
You should have took your shoes off at the door.
We got 5 minutes to close up. I know. We got 5 minutes to go. Okay, we got
at the door.
I know y'all want to go on. We got the last word going on because this has been great.
Oh my God.
The last word. I'm gonna start off with the Mixons. Adam, give me your 30-second last word, and then Adrian to follow, and then the Parkers. What's your 30 seconds?
It sounds cliche, but let love be your guide. If it honors God and it honors your look, let that be it. Okay. Otherwise, if you can't reason yourself, if you can't discern yourself to that point, you just be silent until you can.
I love it. I love it.
Don't do that to each other.
Gotcha. Adrienne.
Wow, I don't even know what to say. I'm taking this in. I'm learning too. But I guess for people who have not, like he said, have not reached that point where you all are trying to build and learn each other, but at the same time you've hurt each other. Like you said, slow down. Take your time, your devotion time, to think back what you carried with you into the relationship, because that's what you're going to share and get to the other person. And if we're not careful, they'll think it's a weapon. So we have to be careful. Take time with God. Amen. Take time with God to realize, how do you communicate and how do you want it to be delivered, like a package in the mail? You want it to land well. You want it to find its place.
Yes. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Parker's 30 seconds. Victoria.
Don't forget to sit down together and determine what the boundaries are for each other.
Yeah.
When you make that determination even before things get bad. Everything's cool right now. Let's have a family meeting. Let's talk about boundaries for communicating and get those guidelines set up so that you both know what they are. And when something hard comes, you know how you're gonna communicate with each other.
That's
love that.
Great.
Parker, Alvin.
Watch what you meditate on.
True.
Many people watch dysfunction for entertainment, and then why they function in dysfunction.
True.
So watch what you meditate.
Wow.
That's good.
Oh.
Catherine, what you got?
I got a couple of things. Well, first of all, I want you to protect the relationship while telling the truth. Right? From the inside out.
That's good.
From the inside out. And I know I opened it up earlier, and that which when Adam talked about, look at the things from the inside. I want you to be healthy. I want to live a long life with you. So just protect that from the inside out. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us tonight. These are great guardrails and rules for connecting and being truthful and honest with one another without being hurtful. At this point, I don't need to add anything else because y'all killed it with a T tonight. Killed. Yeah, which is awesome. So you can speak us out.
What do we do? Okay, meet us back here, you all, next Tuesday night at 9:00 p.m. Every conversation is here to help you be better in your relationship, spiritually, emotionally, And we're just loving the conversations that we have. But meet us back here. And until we meet again, let's get
Power.
All right, go back and share this with others. This is a great one. Love it, love it, love it.
This one.
We're out of here.